normally buy this as a set with the other part of the collection. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. That is accurate. I mean, they're two different games, you know. But if you want to do it right, yes. And to that, I say maybe we'll do it. I don't know. But at that point, I'd want to also just flat out finish out Classic, right? Which means we'd also have to add...
Something I could really do all that.
We'd have to add... I'm going to restart this anyway. So the other Legacy collection is 7, 8, 9, and 10. Obviously, that doesn't include 11 or Mega Man and Base, which that's effectively the second half of the Classic series. And I gotta say, if I take that journey, Mega Man and Base is going to be not great. Let's just put it that way. Anywho, we have a plot right out of the gate. Kind of Mortal Kombat type plot, but the first annual robot tournament was held with 8 of the world's most powerful robots, but ... Mr. X, the sponsor of the tournament, who's totally knocked out Wally, took control, and I didn't even get to read that in time. I've been manipulating that fool Dr. Wily from the beginning, who I'm totally not. Now I no longer need Dr. Wily's help. Come and face my power, Mega Man. And that's the plot. Just like that. Mega Man with his trusty dog Rush. We'll stop him. And then there's the title screen. So, you know, once again, they tried. There's more to it, I'm sure. If you look in, like, the Japanese manual or the wiki, which I could pull up, but I can't be bothered. Because really, even if I mention it, it's kind of one of those things like useless knowledge. And we have to go based off of what is presented to us versus, you know, what they could have done. That's basically how we did the score so far. But yes, yeah, we have definitely reached the tournament arc of the anime. Classic stalling tactic until they come up with a better plot to continue the show. You know, knowing the plot of 7 also, I'd say that's pretty accurate. Anywho, 6 games in, y'all know what to do. Pick one. We got Blizzard Man, we got Wind Man, we got Flame Man, we got Plant Man, Tomahawk Man, Yamato Man, Night Man, Centaur Man, and what did you say that's none of these? Samurai Man. Okay, cool. So Amber picks Yamato Man, I guess. Because it's the closest thing to a samurai in this game. I have mixed feelings about this stage select theme. On one hand, I think it's a little too happy. On the other, it's like... it's high-pitched and kind of like... You know what? I don't think I like it. Actually. Fuck, I didn't open my document. Whatever. We have a whole bunch of shit to do after this. So, the whole thing with this is we are going to play this game, and then we're going to extend the stream a little bit. Because we are going to do not one, but 2 tier lists. We are going to do a tier list for the NES games, because that's all we've played thus far. Which, you know, based on my rankings, that's pretty much how that's going to go. But I guess I'll discuss it a little bit for the sake of the tier list. And then we're going to take things a little further and I guess add a 6th category. We're not going to have it affect the grades because I can't be bothered to do that. But we are going to add a hidden 6th category for the sake of the 2nd tier list, which is going to rank each of the individual Robot Masters from 1 through 6. And I spent the time just before getting on here making oh so glorious tiny clips of each of these motherfuckers just so I could stick them on the tier list. which I am still in the process of actually making the tier lists on tiermaker.com. So that will be part of the process, but that is what this stream will consist of. They start simple enough, then we get Racist Man, a fucking plant, and a suit of armor. Oh boy. You know, I don't know what to say to that. Because, like, I assume we're talking about Flame Man in that regard. I feel like Flame Man has the most potential for being potentially good against either Blizzard or Plant. One of those is indeed correct. But still doesn't tell me where to start. Which, unless we have the same pick, I'm guessing we're going to do a coin flip for this one. But now I have 3 to choose from. That doesn't help me. Make a decision. Alright, cool. So, Flame Man or Yamato Man? It's time to duel. Again. Flame Heads, Yamato Tails. Kind of feel bad for making that pick after I just made it, but whatever. Tails. Samurai Man it is. How this is gonna go, I honestly don't know. This is definitely not a first pick. Would not recommend, but we're doing it. I recall 6 not being too terrible Buster only, but we're about to find out. Might even fuck around a little bit. Shit. Meese! And much like Mega Man 5 before it, if you get hit while charging up... Oh, you don't start with Rush Coil? Fucking shit. Wait, duh, Rush Coil isn't a thing in this game. I'm playing Mega Man 6. There is no Rush Coil in this game. There's actually something much better. You get your power and jet armor in this game. Which is pretty fucking cool, honestly. You, like, merge with Rush and become 2 different armors. I think it's pretty awesome. Yeah, I need to open my notes. Because how am I actually going to take them then? I need to do that. Hey, it's that same enemy from 5, except slightly different looking. And it didn't really get to do much. But yeah, Mega Buster gets... Why? Really? Like, that was really stupid of me. I looked away for like a slight second. Oh, we start from here anyway. Whatever, it's fine. Ow. Can't go up there. Literally can't. We're probably gonna have to revisit a couple stages. Especially depending on what order we go in. Fuck. Fucking fish! I forgot about that. It's a fucking noob trap. It sure fooled me. You know, ideally you hope things get better each part. And I want to say for these Mega Man NES games, in some aspects, that's definitely the case. I do think with this game, visually, if nothing else, it's the best. Alright, just look at it. I mean, it came super late in the cycle when, like, nobody cared about the NES anymore. Unless, of course, and, you know, things are very different back then. But, if you couldn't afford a Super Nintendo and you still had a regular Nintendo, this was a damn good-looking NES game. So, if you were a generation behind, you got to play this. Which is exactly why I played it. This was the second of two that I owned as a kid. All right, Yamato Man. I don't think he's that bad, actually. Trying to remember, but I think he's not too bad for a first pick, honestly. Ow. As I take a hit, because I suck. Cancel the charge shot. That's what they do. Got hit. Ow. Oh my god, I am about to screw this up when I definitely should have won instead. Whoops! Yeah, he's not so bad. We got this. No big deal. I scrubbed it up big time, but we can do this. Fuck. And when you beat him, you don't get the split shot, mind you. You get the single spear. The single spear tip. That's what you get for beating him. You get just the tip. Oh my god, he had 1 health. And that's the continues. Or a continue. So we're using the good old time saver. Yeah, so don't be a scrub, and this is a pretty easy first pick. Like, it ain't that bad. Reaction time is not what it needs to be. Fucking hell, man. There it is. Whoops. If you think you're gonna get hit, just let go of the shot in advance. That's the play. You fucker. Oh my god. He always gets me towards the end. I let him get too many hits towards the end. I start off great, and then, like, towards the end, I just take way too many hits. Did I get any urgent cans along the way? I don't think I did. He fucking dodges it. What an asshole. The thing is, I would dodge that, but then I slide into it like an idiot. Ah, didn't get the full charge. Okay, okay. This is good. I slid into him. I don't know how, but I did. Fuck! Finally! Fucking Christ. So again, not quite as cool as the wireframe, but you get a weapon demo. So there's that. And Mega Man charging his Buster and shooting at the screen. Probably second place for those kinds of screens. Not that that's a category we're rating things on, but here we are. I need to get to my desktop real quick. Notepad. Need my notes. Why can't I find that shit? There it is. It can open in Notepad, but it's not saved as a text file, so I have to go to all files in order to open it. Alright. So Mega Man 6. Notes. Yamato Man. What do we think? The stage is alright. Theme is great. I think. Weapon is okay. In fact, I'd say alright. The stage is great. No, I stick by my first choice. They could have probably did more. Keep it on theme. Wasn't really feeling the samurai vibe throughout the stage. Not entirely. Let's keep it real. Who's next? Take a pick at who Yamato Man could potentially be good against. You get that little spear tip. Samurai Man is going to be strong against Knight unless they went the racist route, in which case he's strong against the Native American cosplayer. This is just who Flame Man is now, and you know I really can't say anything to it because like that's kind of what the deal is. I would say it's not what they're going for, but as we know through the years, intentional or not, Capcom has done that from time to time. So also, can I point this down a tad? Here's the shirt we're wearing for this. Well, whoever did the art for this Mega Man with a energy can as a coffee mug. Freaking fantastic. Alright, so cool. We're gonna do that since I have no other input. Let's see if you're right. Master of Mace Ball. Mace to the face. Hopefully he doesn't push his mace to our face. Yeah, I always felt 5 and 6 were, like, wrongly criticized, even way back when. Especially now on the revisits. This one probably even more so. Why am I so bad at these jumps today? Oh, well, you know what? We're going to pretend that was on purpose, because, like, I needed the game over anyway. If they wanted to be historically accurate, then the European Knight would be strong against Tomahawk. I'm trying to remember if that's the case. I was about to say, but that would be spoilers. Robot Master spoilers. Got him. So this theme, it's kind of got the medieval castle look going on. Theme's alright too. I would say this one's more on theme than the previous one. Are some of these the most catchy Mega Man tracks? Probably not necessarily, but I think they're strong efforts. Whatever, fuck them. Flip Top says, no energy camp for you. I just found that sound effect ridiculous. That's 2 extra lives in a row. If he gives it to me for a 3rd time in a row, we're just gonna take it. Nope, 3rd time was the energy cam. We'll take it. Fuck yeah. So, like 5, you can get beat in this game by going alternate paths on various stages. I can't get that with anything. It's each of the corner stages. There's an alternate path, and if you take it, you get a beat letter. But we're gonna have to revisit stages for that. But also, beat is not as good in this game. Actually, I lied. It's not each of the corner stages. Just kidding. Because I think this is one of them down here. And I don't have the power suit to be able to get down there. I'm gonna take a death real quick due to health. I also really like this boss theme. I haven't really commented on the boss themes too much for each game. One is okay, I guess. 2, I, for some reason, can't remember. I want to say it was good. 3 was really good. 4 was kind of eh. 5 is not great. 6 is pretty good. Alright. Y Spear. And you are correct. If you have what's good for him, what a piece of cake. I only took 1 hit out of boredom, because, like, not much to do. Easy peasy. Next. So, you get a straight shooting spear. Like I said, the weapon's okay. Knight. Great stage. Okay, theme. The weapon is, again, kind of okay. That's my thought. We'll use them more. Maybe that changes. 6 left. Now I'm curious if Knight's actually strong against Tomahawk. Let's do it. There is a lot going on with Tomahawk, man. This theme is fantastic. This stage is fantastic. These enemies are awesome and fitting for Tomahawk, man. This might be my favorite stage in the game. At least of the Robot Masters, anyway. Fuck. Alright, here we go. Flip top. Eddie, whatever. Three more tries. That's one. That's two. That's three. Health. Feels bad. Taking it anyway. Alright, another alternate path we're missing. We're missing all the alternate paths. Because we don't have shit. We've gotten neither of the armors yet. So, like, that's pretty much why. Another version of those things, because, you know, we gotta have them in, like, every game. Big-ass enemies that just do a ton of contact damage. Can't go down there without Jet. Yeah, we're just missing all the alternate paths. We're gonna have to go back to a lot of stages, I think. Because of the order we're going in. There's also a way to go that way. Fucking hell, man. Huh. Hi, frames. How many lives do we have? Enough. Alright, Tomahawk, man. Kill me real quick, and then we'll see what's going on here. Go ahead and save. Alright. Let's do it. Knight does 1 damage. Spear. Well, we already used spear. Also 1 damage. Obviously not good. Fuck. Oh, what an asshole. He got me before I could release the shot. What an asshole. I remember him being a little harder, Buster only. Why did I jump in the air for that? Shit. Shit. I can't tell whether he's going to do that or if he's going to do the other thing. They didn't go with historical accuracy. They did not. Shit. Miss. Oh boy. How are you supposed to avoid that? You can't jump far enough to avoid those. Oh wait, I think I just slide under him. Maybe that's what you do. Long card get. Wildcard guess would be Centaur is strong against him. Shit. Whatever. I can't try that out if he's that close to me. Fuck. Contact damage. Oh my god, everything's too close. Oh, the slide worked. Got him. Tomahawk. Honestly, Tomahawk wins at all categories. Alright. 5 more. The fuck? Alright. So yeah, so far so good. Not the best, not the worst. Like I said, we're gonna have to revisit a lot of stages. Because we've done the ones, I think it's these 4 for the beat parts. Nightman has to be strong versus Centaur. Let's find out. And with this, we will effectively go to every stage with a potential side path and have to revisit every single one of them. Because we have not had anything required to be able to go to those side paths. So, fair warning, we're doing a lot of stage revisits. The path I go, I only have to do 1, I think, stage revisit. Now, of course, you're not going to know this the first time you play the game. Or even where the side paths are, for that matter, but... having knowledge already, we're going to have to revisit all 4 stages for the side path. Or we could just ignore beat entirely, because honestly, I don't think beat is that great in this game. But I guess for completion's sake, we'll just do it anyway. Fuck. What'd you say? No, we'll get it done. Beat is absolutely top tier in 5. Not in 6, not so much. Flip top again. Energy tank first try, we'll take it. Fuck. Why would I, why did I decide that was a good idea? We are making some really silly mistakes this playthrough. But, this is why we take advantage of modern technology. at this point. Hey, there's an extra life. Went down the hole. This is probably the easiest hidden path, but we obviously can't reach it. So we gotta go here. Night on Centaur? You would be correct. Got him. And Centaur, just like Bright, just like what's the one in 5? Gravity. Gravity Hold. Sea Flash. Same shit. Uses a decent chunk of weapon energy. A screen clear. Does a select amount of damage. Nothing new to see here. Stage is kind of meh, to be honest. Theme is good. Weapon okay, I guess. So I think of all the like freeze weapons, they're okay. They have their uses, but eh. Okay, good. It'd be really silly if Centaur wasn't weak to Medieval Knight. Fair enough. All right, so you got 2 picks there on weaknesses. Of course, you can't possibly have the weakness for the very first person you pick. So 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Who are we doing next? 4 left. I forget which levels have the armors, because, like, we don't have either one yet. Like I said, we have to revisit all these stages. All the ones we just beat. No pun intended. Wind? Wind it is. Maybe Centaur Flash stops wind. We've got theories. We're gonna test them. So, yet another airman type stage. This one's got fans, so I think that's kind of cool. This might be my second favorite stage. I like the theme too. Feels airy. Come on. Like slowly rising and all that. These things are kind of silly. Easy extra life. Even the, like, mediocre stages are still, like, visually pleasing. I don't know what those pandas ever had to do with anything, but there they are. Kind of annoying, too. Because they just randomly fire upward and screw with your jumping at points. If you don't know that they're there. And while you're sitting there floating, too. That was a short-ass stage. Also, you would be right yet again. Perfect. Making good picks on this one. Even the start wasn't too bad. I was just a total fucking scrub about it. Windstorm. Weapon's terrible. Everything else, great. Tomahawk would have been the other guess. Gotcha. And you see how there's an extra life on the stage? That's the game telling you. That is the game telling you there is not a beat letter there. Because it'll show the letter. If you get it. Yo! I see you saw my message. I wanted to get you in here before I got too far. For whatever part you catch. But also the direct results of your suggestion. I actually didn't realize, I think I might have said I've never done a tier list before, but I am a liar. Because a while back, I did a tier list for consoles. And I streamed it. However, I went through, just before getting on here, the painstaking process of clipping little pictures of each and every single one of... So, actually, as I'm saying that, we're doing two things. We're going to do a list for the games, which obviously is going to go pretty quickly, considering I'm already ranking them for the sake of what I've been doing here. But then, we're going to have a little more fun, and we're literally going to rank each of the individual... Robot Masters from each of the games as well. So we're doing two. Is Battle Network involved? No. This is strictly the NES Classic Series. So it is not. That said, I know some of these guys are in Battle Network, so, you know, is what it is. I was gonna say wind is strong versus flame, even though it's not super scientifically accurate. Okay, is that the final answer? Is that where we're going? To flame? But yeah, that's what we're doing. So when this is wrapped up and we give the final game its final ranking, we will do both tier lists and in that order. I do still have to finish them up on tiermaker.com, I think is the website. But, I played music for a little bit longer than my start time to make sure that I go ahead and clip those. Are they even? No. Do they do the job? Yes. That's what matters. Also, for the box art for the games, I found the Japanese art for the first two, but then all the American art for 3 through 6, so... Hashtag just deal with it. Which, you know, if and when that second half ever happens at some point, that's not going to be anytime soon. But, and we're going to have a little fun with that one, too. We're not just going to base it on how good their weapon is in-game. It's going to be part of it. But we're going to have a little fun with that one. Because, you know, it's going to be also based on, like, how they look or how silly they might be or whatever. In which case, requires no knowledge of playing the games whatsoever. So, everyone can have fun with that. That could be a community effort of sorts. For those that are around. So, are we doing the not super scientifically accurate as the pick? Is that where we're going next? Or anyone else could chime in. The options are getting thinner pretty quickly too. I will say Josh is doing pretty good with these choices. Yamato Man was the first pick, so obviously you can't do a weakness there. Yamato was good against Knight. Knight was not good against Tomahawk. Knight was then good against Centaur. Centaur was good against Wind. So, that's 3 out of 4. Fucking nailing it this game. Might have actually been able to get through this one. Okay. Good enough for me. We are going with Flame Man, who I was gonna say what Josh alluded to, which honestly I can't really disagree with it. So, Flame Man. Huge quotes. Save actually, yeah. I don't really know what they were thinking with this one. This was a sign of things to come in later games, intentional or not. It is an early sign of Capcom to some extent being racist. 2? What's the second one? Are we considering Tomahawk Man the second one? Who's the second? Like, this one I get. It is Tomahawk. Okay. See, it's like the only other one I could think of, you know? Like... Fuck. Luckily, the fan suggestions, which evidently were a thing for a lot of these games, are specifically for this game, were the ones that ended up on the cover, and neither of said culprits were the American chosen ones. So at least there's that. Can't say that for Capcom themselves, but yeah. This stage is super neat because, like, not only is it thematically correct, but there's oil. And you can go in it all you want. But if the fire ends up in the oil, then obviously it lights up, and if you go in, you will just die. So that's neat. Racist boss critique aside, stage is pretty great. We're gonna take a death here. But also... You are correct yet again. And I'm right there with you where it makes, like, not much sense, but it's the weakness. Such was the times. Racial stereotypes were all the rage, especially in Japan. I mean... based on that logic, I'm surprised it took 6 games. You know? So finally, we got a Rush armor adapter. Rush is not used individually. He merges with you, kind of like a transformer or some shit, which I actually think is amazing. I think the power suit, which was also used in 7, they kind of combined the power suit and the flying suit in that game to make it one thing, and you also got a rocket punch, which is like homing, which is cool. Now there's only so many picks, and... Well, actually, no, we don't have it no matter what. There's still, like, a specific order. Yeah, Josh is, like, fucking killing it with boss weaknesses here. They've only missed 1 so far. And, Amber's maybe, I don't know, to possibly screw me over pick actually went decently well, because it's not that bad. I was just a total scrub about it. But that's on me. I can admit that. Plot and boss design Mega Man 6 feels like they were really running out of ideas. I could see that. Like, it makes sense. While I agree with that, I don't know. I'm going through it again now. I happen to really like this game. Huh? Budman. Oh my god. You would refer to it as Budman. Josh? Dan? Anybody? Tournament arc. Yeah, I mean, I never... I mean, look, what are you really gonna do? Like, who's genuinely convinced that this is anyone other than Wily? You know, like... The fake out is super obvious, so why not make something as absurd as a tournament arc? Why the hell not, you know? Nephew's fun nickname for my dog is Budman. Alrighty then. Well, I mean, okay. Now, I thought about that a little more. Okay, that makes sense. Plant Man feels like the perfect anti-climax boss. Do Blizzard then Plant. Okay, so... Honestly, since we also have tier lists to do, you just fucking crushed it. Spoiler alert. I'm going to Blizzard because that you're right. Again and again. You missed one. That's it. You crushed it. You might have a shot at this game, Josh. I mean, that's solely basing things on boss order, obviously, but still. Fucking great calls, of course. I make it in there and then I don't make it out. You know, I took that risk. I decided to take the risk. I knew I was going to probably fuck it up. I actually forgot about this stage and the theme. Forget what I said earlier. Which one did I say was my favorite? Because it's this one that's my favorite. This, along with Gemini Man from Mega Man 3, is a theme that... God fucking damn it. is a theme that gets stuck in my head quite a bit. Yep, that is accurate. That is accurate. Fuck, I missed the power block over there. So we haven't been using weapons a ton. Let's go ahead and try some out here. The Y-Spear. It's good because it can fire quick, but it's not particularly powerful. C-Flash is a screen clear. Just like any of these other, like, freezing weapons. Screen clear and or just freeze the screen. Silver T is probably the best weapon in this game. It's got a bit of an arc. It's really strong. Doesn't use too much weapon energy when you use it. Night C is mace to the face, and it comes back like a boomerang in an arc. If you fire it in the air, it goes down instead of coming back in an upward arc. Windstorm, luckily you don't have to be on the ground to use it. Wind's weird because if you hit certain enemies with enough time, they just fly in the air. It's a neat little effect, I guess. Actually, let's show this off. So here's Rush in this game. He's in Spirit because he just merges with you. That's the power armor. Power Mega Man. Story and boss design aside, this one seems pretty solid. I think so. From what I remember, I really think this is one of the stronger entries. I'm like, you know, going back through it and you know, trying to remember again, but yeah. Whatever, fuck them. This part's kind of a doozy if you don't know what you're doing. Very easy to die right here at the boss gate, which would be super frustrating for a first-time player. But Josh nailing it on the fucking boss picks. Fuck. Dead. This might be one of the easier games to also do Buster only. Come to think of it. I don't remember because I haven't done that in a very long time. But I want to say it is. This weapon's okay. I haven't kept up with my notes, I don't think. Alright, we did Windman. Who the hell we do next? It doesn't matter the order, as long as I have them all on here. Flame Man. Theme's okay. Stage great. Weapons meh. Let's see. Blizzard. Great theme and stage. Weapon is... I'm gonna come back to how I feel about the weapon. I'm gonna use it more. See how I feel about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so we only have Budman left. Which is probably the most annoying stage out of them. And I don't think it's even close. It's thematically great, which really a good portion of them are, at least to some extent. But, stage is quite annoying. And I will show y'all why when I get there. Right, I can't reset this one. And he was generous enough to give me that first try energy cam. Let's fucking go. A monkey. Giant monkey with a rocket punch. For as intimidating as that possibly could look, definitely much easier than the monkeys that tripped up Dan years ago. Shit. And here's another one. Hey, Monica, what's going on? How's it going? Pretty good. We're doing a little, different stuff here. That was a sentence. I think I put it in the description. We're doing the game and then we're doing some tier lists. We're gonna have fun with it too. First one's a little more serious than the second, but we're gonna have fun with it. It was Dan's idea, but I come to realize I was a liar in the sense that I've never done one before because I did one years ago on stream specifically for consoles. I don't remember if I saved that or not. Son of a bitch! So I remember when I was talking about describing why I thought this stage was annoying. This is one of them. You get the fish that come up for a noob trap if you don't know any better. If you don't make your pixel perfect jumps here off these springs, you're gonna fall pretty easily. It is a very easy place to die. It is why this stage is annoying. And there's a whole bunch of shit that just flies at you too. And you get some leverage with all the tiny healths and shit. Although it's visually clever as well, because they look like petals or flowers and whatnot to go with the stage. So that's cool. B attack. Let's freeze up some crops, shall we? Whoops! Forgot it has a barrier, so another barrier weapon. Another freezing weapon, another barrier weapon. Yay. Do I have enough to kill him? You kind of just get him in this boring loop. We had just enough. So, we got the other 2/3 of the game, as we know. You know, you get the Wily fake out, which really is not so much of a fake out. Well, actually, we have stage revisits, and a bunch of them. So we're going to be here a bit. How are we all doing tonight? Great choices on weakness, but unfortunately the paths do not, not so great for pathing. Like the most ideal route for being able to collect stuff with minimal stage revisits. The stages do change slightly. Like you can see this stage is now gray instead of yellow in the background. And I do think there's slight other changes as well. Like for the stage itself? Shit. Interesting choice making Blizzard strong versus plant. Makes sense, I guess. Yeah. You freeze over your crops, they're done. That could be the case for what Amber hinted to as well. I don't know. I mean, it's another plant, so I would assume so, you know? Oh, crap. Yep. That never happened. Can't prove it. Does Flip Top come back? Yeah, he does. Fuck yeah. I already have 6 energy can tanks. Do I really care about more? We're gonna start the count more early. There, Mighty Game Man. He's being super generous. He's being super generous in this game. So here's the other Transformer with Rush animation for Jet. Which is super cool. Like, as a kid, the cover just sells the shit out of this game. Because you see the Jet transformation. He's in that armor. I don't know if it was First 4 Figures or one of these other companies that does like figures or whatever. But I missed my chance to get... I think it was the Jet armor for Mega Man 6. It was really cool looking, but I missed out on it. Also, if you take the alternate path, you do have to fight the boss again. But whatever, not a big deal. Give anything a jetpack and it sells itself. Shit. Alright, so that's 104 beat parts. Again, not entirely sure why I'm doing this outside of completion, because beat really is nowhere near as good in this game as 5. But to that same point, I also really only use beat in 5 for the end of the game because it's great for the final boss. But, you know, we know what our options are, so we're just gonna keep going for it. So, some detours before we get to the Fake Out Castle and then the Wily Castle. Take the scenic route. Power armor breaks those big blocks. And stronger things like that you can't kill otherwise, the power armor helps with. Also knocks the shit out of that guy. He sends him flying backwards. Which is a neat little animation they didn't need to throw in, but they did just because they could. Fuck. That was almost bad. You're also significantly slower, too, when you have it. So, it's not, like, the best for usage. Outside of its very specific usages. But, you know, it's fine for what it is. It also, of course, helps you skip parts. Like so. Shit. Shit. Whatever, I'll just take whatever you give me. Health, kind of needed, actually. So, thanks for that. Plus, there's an energy can here that I couldn't get before. Yeah, we got plenty of energy tanks in this game. I think it's one of the easier games overall. There's definitely some annoying sections that I'll point out, but it might actually just be one of the easier games overall. A lot of decent picks for a first boss that are easy enough. I had a second point with this, but I forgot what it was. So yeah, with having to revisit these stages and go on the alternate paths, it's going to be 3 times that we fight some of these bosses, unfortunately. Whoops, whatever. I know Spear uses such little weapon energy that it doesn't really matter. Yeah, this game's weapons, some decent weapons, some not so much. They're alright, I guess. Probably a 3 for this game. Not to use them again. Use them each again at least one time for the final stages. You can't skip any of these sections. The little weapon demo sections. I don't think you've been able to skip any of them. Or you didn't get a demo in each one, just at least like telling you what it is. Ruh-roh. Power. Trying to attack with this thing is super awkward. But you can. You actually get an entirely different mini-boss if you go this way. Or a mini-boss period. I forget if there's one otherwise. Yeah, I don't remember this thing, actually. I think it's just for the alternate path. Yet another energy tank, which actually makes us maxed out on energy tanks in this game. I think it's the only game where we pulled that off so far. Fuck. Jet, so we can go on top here. I'm gonna take iframes because whatever. Or take some damage and take advantage of iframes is what I should have said. Oh crap, crap, crap! Woo! Almost died. I think I'll take a death here. So obviously, with this being the first pick, the weakness for this guy is Tomahawk. Which kind of works out, because if he decides to jump, the Silver Tomahawk tends to go upwards anyway. But you don't always know if he's going to do that. So you stay close and just wait a bit. This weapon's very strong. I would dare say it's as powerful as, say, like the Metal Blade, except unlike the Metal Blade, it does use like your normal amount of weapon energy, so it's like actually balanced. I also like the boss intros in this game specifically because they give you all sorts of stats and they don't really mean much, but it's a cool little effect, you know? Seeing, like, the boss's power levels and shit. It's definitely the coolest, boss intros in the series thus far. Like, it's not even close. Because every other boss is just, here's the guy. He does his little pose. That's it. This game keeps all that and adds a bunch of stats. Which, for the reasons I said, it's kind of purely visual, but still, it's neat. The thought's there. We again don't care. I think that was an extra life. Fantastic. Use Jet here. Ah, you thing. Alright, gotta go down here. Which, depending on your timing, could be tricky. Ow. Shit, I forgot about that. But that's not where I need to go. So, whatever. Woo, we used Jet properly there. Because if we didn't, we would have died. Death from spikes. And then for Tomahawk Man, which is the one weakness we didn't get. Obviously, you can't choose the weakness for the first enemy. But the one we didn't get, Plant, is good on Tomahawk. The barrier weapon. So, you know, take damage to hit him. And I actually used more than I need by accident, so we're gonna have to can here. I'm sure we'll get another one, it's fine. That's all the beat parts, so moving on. The time we saved on good weapon picks, we're kind of losing by having to revisit these stages, but it is what it is. We're getting beat, we're getting the full experience. Plant Man. As much as I find this stage annoying, it is a great one. It's on theme. However, speaking of themes, I don't think the music is necessarily that great. Boring barrier weapon. Blizzard weapon is okay. I don't think it's bad. It's okay. Mr. W, I mean X. Alright, so first set of castle stages. The theme's not like creepy, but still kind of like it's high-pitched, potential danger coming, don't really know what to expect. It's good enough. You know, it sells it enough for being like towards the end of the game. Or the second third of the game, I should say. This is an interesting little shortcut if you can manage to make little short hops instead of jumping really high. And it's like a major short hop. Like, I fucked it up. I didn't want to hop too high, because if you do, you just die. But you get rewarded big time if you don't mess this up. Unlike that. Shit! Cheat viewers on some random spam site, I'm sure. Okay, bye. Moving on. Got it. So your reward for getting that, outside of skipping effectively like half the stage, is this little section here. Which, that's not the reward, but you get this little section here. And at the end of it, you get 4 extra lives. So, it's a neat little incentive for getting good. This boss is annoying. You have to hit it on top. Okay. And like half the time you miss it because you don't place your shot right. We're gonna can for the sake of time. Okay, never mind. Just JK, you have to hit them towards the bottom, not the top. That's why I was missing half the time. Okay, actually, JK, again, it's neither. It's you hit them on the sides. There we go. That's an annoying boss. Like, you're gonna take damage at some point, no matter how good you are at dodging. It's, definitely a tedious boss. I have similar feelings to Mega Man 5, where the challenge presented is sufficient. Like, it throws stuff at you that you've seen throughout the game, and is a fair enough challenge. The music's there too. It's amazing that it took this many games to truly nail that, in my opinion, but they eventually got to it. So that's like a huge plus point. I'll give both 5 and 6. Oh, fuck. That was almost bad. If this was Mega Man 1, we'd be dead. It's not the first time I've said that, but, you know. Literally the only game where that shit happens, and it's quite annoying. We also, for a lot of the Wily stages, because of the challenge and like extra platforming and easy ways of somebody just knocking you in a pit for a cheap death, we tend to use Jet a lot. Which really, there's no reason not to. The only thing you lose out on by not using Jet is a charge shot. This thing, it consistently goes away from you. Its weakness is Silver T, and there's a very specific reason. It's because it goes on an angle, and if you get the angle right, you just fuck up this boss real easy, because it never really stops doing stuff. And because of that, kind of like the other one, it can be a tedious boss, but if you use Silver T and you get the angle right, you're golden. You can kill these stupid things with the power armor, too. Fully charge it, and then you can kill them. It's great. Energy tank. Get back one of the ones we used like an idiot before. Shit. Iframes. Alright, this is one of the more annoying sections. That's why we use Jet. I'm just taking all sorts of hits, whatever. Don't care, man. Oh, shit! That was almost really bad. I might can just to survive in the stage, honestly, at this point. Because we are taking a whole bunch of damage here. We got plenty of cans. This is fine. You know what I am missing in this game, actually? There's a weapon balancer in this game. It goes in the middle slot here. But I don't remember where that is. Or if you randomly get it in one of the Wily stages, or what. I forgot that's even a thing in this game. I just remembered. But I don't remember where you get it. So, I can't really show that off. And all it does is when you get weapon energy, it automatically gives it to the weapon that is used the most. And while that's cool in theory, I like being able to choose instead. Because if I used up just a bunch of a weapon that I don't necessarily care about, it doesn't matter. Yeah. For very obvious reasons, we use Jet here. Jet's just a consistent thing throughout these final stages. There's no reason not to. I don't remember what this thing's weakness is. B attack? JK, I remembered. Bye! I think if I don't do it before then, we're going to sit down for the tier list. Getting a little tired standing up today. What do I want to refill? I don't know. What do I need more? I don't remember. I'm trying to remember, like, final boss weaknesses. Another boss down. Yeah, it's going to go pretty quickly. Honestly. From what I recall. There's not, like... I'm saying these final stages are challenging, and they are. But, you know, obviously having played this a bunch... Trying to make short work of it all. Shit. Uh-huh, don't care. Power. You also can't slide with either of the armors. It makes sense, they're too heavy. These things are annoying, these little birds can come up, but little neat thing you can do is if you use power to hit the blocks, now they can't come up anymore. It's pretty cool, but not all of them have blocks to push to be able to do that, which is not so cool. Fuck. I've mentioned a couple times while streaming this, there's usually a fuck it part of every game. And I've forgotten to point these out in each game. And I think the biggest reason I did is because I'm not willing to make a category based on that. Because I do think there's one particular part in, like, each of the games that falls under that category. But it doesn't necessarily stop me from playing the game. Mostly. With this game in particular, there's one very specific section where you have to use the jet and time it right. Like, you fall, but you don't activate the jet at first, and then activate it mid-jump. But if you don't do it right, you just insta-die, and it's not great. I believe it's the very first Wily stage. That is by far the fuck it section of this game. Not even close. The fuck it section of Mega Man 2 is, again, not even close. The fucking Boo Beam, which is designed terribly. Even defenders of Mega Man 2, I don't think can do that boss any justice. Fucking shit. Do I start from here? Sure don't. Is this close enough to where I was? Can't really tell. Whatever, we'll just do it again, it's fine. Don't need to rewind each and every time for the sake of time, you know? I like to keep some of my pride intact. Only some, though. Oh, I fucked up! See? Like that. Very easy spot to die at. Oh my god. Even with Jet. Very easy to die there. Like all the different ways you can fall in a pit there. That's why there's no reason to use anything other than Jet. So here's Mr. X, totally not Dr. Wily. I don't remember what the actual weakness is, but we're just going to use the charge shot, because really that's all we fucking need. This is all he does. Kind of like where Dan was like, all he does is go back and forth, referencing the nerd. Kind of same thing with this guy. He just goes back and forth. That's what he does. And I managed to die to him because we had, like, no health. But whatever. That, and it's a boring boss. Fuck. This boss is boring. Whoops. Just literally stay on the edge of the screen, jump from time to time, and then shoot him from time to time. And look, he's dead. My scheme for world domination has failed with a typo. They left out the E. I didn't get to read that. Oh my god, it's Dr. Wily. What a shock. Let the final battle begin. Next castle. Wily's castle does a better job of the Oriental theme than Yamato Man stage. So the theme takes a step down, in my opinion, for this. Like, it's still kind of eerie or whatever, I guess, but I don't know, I don't like it as much. I like the other one way better. But soon enough will be the fuck it section of this game. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird design choice, but it's what they did. Shit. You got these fans here that could possibly get you killed because there's a bunch of spikes. And the spikes are slowly introduced as you keep falling. Hopefully not running into them like a scrub. Or, you know, someone that just legit hasn't played the game. If you're good, you actually, up there... I'm going to rewind for the sake of showing this off. And then I can actually skip the annoying part I'm talking about. But if you're good, you can actually fall in a way here. Time the jet right and break a block there to go a hidden path. Instead of doing this wonderful section right here. Which I actually did first try, so whatever. We just beat the fucking section of the game. Wait, never mind. There's another one I forgot. Yeah, we did that too. If you don't time that right, you fall in the spikes and you die. So cool, moving on. I made it look easy, but there is a specific timing to that. Where you fall with the jetpack, you don't use it right away, and you hold it like just before hitting the spikes in the bottom. Otherwise you die. It's great. But we did it. So, the rest of the game should be pretty fucking smooth. And of course, our usual wonderful fight all the bosses again, because it's just the way it is. Hey, it's the dinosaur. Forgot about this guy. Good thing I filled up on V-Spear a little bit. Or Y-Spear, whatever. Whatever the letter is. I can't read. Fuck, I can't hit the eyes! That's where you have to hit this guy to damage him. And, we just died. But, you know, whatever. It's fine. Now we have less spear. Whatever. Just gonna have to buster him. Fuck! Fuck! God damn it, I can barely hit him. The hitbox is relatively tiny on this. Which kind of makes the Mega Buster the better choice, but you need to actually make it up there in order to use it. And not get hit, also. We're gonna can this, I guess. And we might use a few, because we used up the weapon energy. And, yeah. This is not great. Would not recommend fighting this thing without its weakness. And even when you have it, it's a little difficult to line up the shots. There we go. But yeah, I honestly, and I thought this way back when, but upon the revisit, like, 6 is pretty damn solid. Alright. Hungry? Yeah. I'm gonna try something here. Choose Jet, because we're not doing this. And then F-Blast. Honestly, yeah. I have to give it that final ranking and everything, but yeah. I always thought 6 was better than most people give it credit for, but my main inspiration for this, and I've mentioned this a few times, but you know, in case anyone's new and didn't hear like anything in regards to that, people are kind of re-evaluating these games in later years and realizing that the latter 3 games are much better than people are willing to give them credit for, because once you do take off the nostalgia glasses, you have pretty well polished games, and every single one of them tries much more to actually give you a plot that you care about. Windstorm for this, I think? Yep. Easy. Yeah, like, objectively speaking, my favorite's Mega Man 3, but I actually ranked it below Mega Man 2. And now 5. Or not 5. Actually 5 is above it too, come to think of it, from a score perspective. It's kind of like how 7's my favorite Final Fantasy, but I think overall 6 and 9 are better games. And people praise its soundtrack, don't get me wrong, it's a great one, but like, there's some tracks on there that I'm like, it's not the best. I think 7 has the better battle theme. I think 8 has the better boss theme. The main one, anyway. Possibly others, too, because, like, 8 also has Man with a Machine Gun, which is the alternate battle theme for Laguna. 8's also got The Castle. 8's got the Extreme for the end of the game, just before getting to the final phase of Ultimecia. So you got Maybe I'm a Lion. There's a lot of great music in FF8. Which one? Man with the Machine Gun's great. It's so good. Ah, okay. Yeah. True. I always forget that's even a song, really. Your favorite might not be the best, but it has something that draws you in. Yeah, for sure. Fuck. I mean, you can't make that point with 7. There is none. But, yeah. Well, there is now.
That's not my favorite. It's your favorite. My favorite is 8.
We know this.
What
I was addressing... I was addressing chat. There's plenty of mini games in 7. So much so that they decided with...
Gold saucer, right?
Yes. So much so that they decided with the remake, oh, yo dog, I hear you like Gold Saucer, so we gave you some Gold Saucer for your, for like the entirety of the game. Like,
Dude, listen,
the game is one
even
huge
know.
bunch of mini
In
games.
14, Gold saucer's fucking insane.
Like, everything you do in Rebirth is a mini game.
And like, if you actually have the time to like
Fuck.
dedicate to do all this shit with Gold Saucer in 14, you ain't great.
I have to fight this guy without his fucking, fucking Budman over here, without his freaking weakness, because I used it all.
The thing I liked about Triple Triad was you literally could just fucking walk up to traders and fucking play cards with them. Anywhere. Middle of a fucking big ass fucking plot scene. Hey, you wanna play a fucking card game? Oh yeah, let's fucking go. Like, was it absurd? Absolutely, but it was cool.
Thank you, Monica. I appreciate the compliment there. You have to play Rebirth. It's good. I certainly enjoyed more than I didn't. In fact, Rebirth's biggest critique is probably too much game. And I don't know if that's so much the open world aspect. That's actually probably a big part of it. But also, like I said, it's kind of, it's mini game the game. Like, there is so much of what you do in it that is just yet another mini game. And some are certainly better than others. And depending on how much you enjoy them is effectively if you're going to enjoy the game or not. There's a lot of them. Like, they're cleverly baked in, and the majority of them are at least fun. But it's a lot of the game. Seven Rebirth, or excuse me, 7 Remake was essentially, what if we were as linear as FF13 except the game didn't suck and had a way more interesting cast? With, you know, crazy Nomura plot twists, because that's what he does. Then Rebirth is more open, but also, like, mini game the game. And improving on a lot of the things that people actually bitched about with Remake. It's weird to explain. Like, I would still highly recommend it. The game is great. Like, the plot points you're looking for, and of course expanded because there's that much more to do now. It's definitely worth it, but you have to also know what you're getting into. You have to know what you're getting into, and, you know, for some of the stuff that you might not necessarily enjoy minigame-wise, you don't actually have to do it. But I found myself doing a lot more of it than I necessarily wanted to, because I cared about getting all the folios to get everyone's, like, ultimate weapon and skills. Not playing 13 for a third time? Pff, I wouldn't play it past one time. Literally haven't. I've had thoughts in later years to revisit it, like, you know, maybe it's just me. Maybe 13 doesn't suck. But instead I ended up watching it instead. And while I could see, like, the story's there. It's there. It's just not explained well, like, at all. It's super confusing. And like you said, the cast is not great. Like, Cloud, Squall, and Lightning kind of fall under the whole stoic, kind of annoying loner vibe going on. But Lightning has no character, in my opinion. She's just a bitch. She has no character depth. She doesn't, like, sort of get it until, like, the very end of the game, but by that point, you're already over it. And it basically takes everybody smacking her into it. Primarily Snow, who's one of two characters that I actually like in the game. Top tier character is Fang, no question. No contest. He's lame. the Chocobo doesn't save his character. The guy's lame. Zaz is super lame. Like, his inspiration's nice, you know, he's doing it for his kiddo and all that. Because, you know, everyone has their focus, and then the super emotional moment, and that's when their things come out. But also, this is the same game that decided to introduce Motorcycle Shiva, so the game's just bad. I don't know how people defend that game. It's not good. And there's a lot of games where it's like, oh, all these years later, were we actually wrong and it's actually a good game? No. No. We're right the whole time. It's actually just bad. Fuck! Second was a revisit, but didn't go far. Are we talking about 13-2? I'm gonna rewind there. I don't feel like doing that again. I kind of got sidetracked there, I'm sorry. Lesbian scissoring motorcycles is an interesting idea. Okay. Alright. If we're going based on that, then sure. But I never want to see the Shiva cycle again. It's not great. It's really not. If we look at it from that one singular aspect, fine. But nobody asked for that. And then some of the summons that they did have, like, I think it was Zaz's. That's this weird summon that I don't think was in any of the other games. That I think they just made up for that game. I think. I could be wrong. I might be remembering this incorrectly. Did I just fight all the bosses? I did. I kind of want to take some quick deaths just for the sake of refilling all my weapons. Because, like, I kind of need these for the end of the game. Whatever. We'll try and make it work. We have 8 energy cans. We can afford to suck a bit. That and we got interesting chat going. Never played any sequels. Where does that matter? Let's think here.
Tactics.
Huh?
Tactics.
That's a spin-off game, though. Where does... Where does that matter? Let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to think of everything. 1 obviously didn't have one. 2 didn't have one. 3 didn't have one. I never played the after years of 4, so I honestly couldn't say. We're just gonna take a death.
10-2 is just Final Fantasy Idol.
I'm trying to go like in order here, so I don't forget anything. So I never played the after years for 4, so I can't vouch for that one. So I have no comment towards that. 7's technical sequel is a movie, so that doesn't count. Yeah. 10-2. The dress sphere system is great, but that's it. You tell me Final Fantasy pop idol and I'm there. Yeah. I get it, but I don't know. That the dress sphere system that calls back to the job system is like the only saving grace of that game. And Pain.
Riku's outfit was fucking banging though.
I think Pain was the most interesting character by far, and she's the only original character of that game, so... Three-phase Wily here. We only now need a can. It's silly fun at best. I will give it that. I was not particularly fond of it, but...
We're just talking about Final Fantasy.
Yes. But the thing with that is... The other thing is that it has the worst version of the Chocobo theme in the series.
I don't know. I still fucking hate Fiddle.
No.
Just because I fucking hate Fiddles.
It's fine. At least they did a rendition of the Chocobo theme, like what happens in any other game. And, you know, if they wanted to break tradition, so be it, but what they went with is just really bad. 13, you obviously got 13-2, which I heard was way better, but 13 just sucks so much that I didn't even fucking bother. And then Lightning Returns is essentially 13-3, so there's that. I can't rank those. But I did hear both are better than the starting point. 15 never got a sequel. Just a bunch of DLC that finished the clearly incomplete story.
What was the movie?
The movie was a prequel.
Okay.
Which is also required, really. Like, I feel bad for anyone that played 15 at first. My issue wasn't the combat system. My issue was how much it lagged during the combat from time to time.
Here's 16's combat system.
16's combat is fucking fantastic. '16 restores faith in that, yes, they can make a good modern Final Fantasy game. I mean, whoever gets the credit, it's not just him, but yes, absolutely. They put together a dream team of sorts for that. Whole dress-up theme and certain turned a lot away. That's the best part of the game, though. That's the saving grace of the game. Like that's it. That's what made it good. They need to play 10-2, Final Fantasy Pop Isles, and Constant Power-Ups really sounds like a perfect RPG. like I said, it's at best it's pure dumb fun. So like, you'll get that with that. I can give it that credit, even if it's ultimately bad. But it's dumb fun. Like that, the game has a very specific purpose, whereas something like 13 is just dumb. 12 never got a sequel either. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. Only so many games got sequels, and most of them didn't really need it. 12 is the end of what era? The last turn-based game. Yeah, that's technically true. Yep, offline 11. Offline 11, yeah.
Like, this is fucking garbage. I fucking hate this.
Oh, that's a shame, because that made you miss out on a great game.
What about the collector's edition that shit and everything? Back when they still sold guides.
12 is great, even if it's ultimately Final Fantasy Star Wars. And or the best thing about the Star Wars prequel trilogy. Yeah, I said it. But also, Vaughn is lame as fuck, so is Pinello. I think the main character of that game should have been Ash. Hands down. Hands down, no contest. '12 had a better cast than 13. Vaughn and Pinello are lame, but, Han and Chewie, I mean, Balthier and Fran are great. And even if you disagree with Fran being great, the Vieras are now a thing in 14. So, people clearly like them.
So much so they made Mel ones.
Yep. Bosch and... well, I already said Bosch. The other two characters... No, wait. Balthier. Did I say the wrong name? I think I said the wrong name. Balthier and Fran. Han and Chewie, essentially. Then there's Ash and... Ash and Bosch. Those are the other ones. Okay. Yeah. And there's some other cool characters. You just don't control them. We're doing a Mega Man thing that I got highly distracted from towards like the end of the game and stuff. Alright, so let's finish up these notes and give a ranking to this fucking thing. So I didn't really take notes in the final stages, but I kind of know my thoughts on that anyway. So how are we going to rank this one? I didn't really pay enough attention to the end. But Wily gets locked up. It's whatever. I'm going to pull it up on the side. That's the tier list stuff. We're going to get to that. Mega Man 6 plot. North American version. Yep, got it. Cool. Where's the rest of it? That's all it says for plot. It says nothing. Plot. Alrighty.
Alexa, turn the light screen.
Dr. Wawi. New Fortress. Stronghold. Mega Man pursues and defeats him again. The game ends with him being brought to justice and sent to prison. That's exactly what I just watched with very little context. Okay, cool. Alright, whatever. We're gonna have to wing it. So, plot with this one. I feel like it fits yet again under the category of, well, we tried. So, we'll give it a 3. Music, honestly, I'm 5ing that shit. I think it's got some of the best in the series. But maybe they're not all bangers. We'll do a 4. Fun factor? It's a 5. It's a 5. My opinion. That might be the highest fun factor I've given. I have fun with this game through and through. Even with the fuck it section. I don't feel like anything drags out. And it doesn't suffer from the dark robots of Mega Man 5, which is, like, if nothing else, this very specific reason I don't give that game a fun factor of 5. So I think rating it a 5 is very appropriate. The weapons is where we kind of lose it a bit. What I also realized, and I didn't think of this until just now, unless I like go in and literally edit each and every one of these rankings, I did not think about, even though I've talked about it in every game so far, the music. I even put it in my notes. I don't have music as a category in any of these. I think we have to go back. I think we maybe have to go back on this. Music is such a huge part of the Mega Man games. More so than plot. Yeah, we're changing all this in the spot. Everything's out of 30 now. Fuck it. Everything has changed. The plot has thickened. We're getting more in the tier list. This is the super extended section of the Mega rankings. The game has changed. We have to go back, Marty. Yes, yes we do. We need the 1.21 gigawatts to make this happen. Wait, I'm an idiot. I do have music on here. I'm blind. It's literally the first category. What was I thinking? Who let me do this? JK, I already had it as a category. It's literally the first thing. We don't have to go back at all. JK. My goodness. Okay, anyway, moving on, going back. So weapons. Let's go through the notes here, right? Yamato Man's weapon is okay. Nightman's weapon is okay. Tomahawk's weapon's great. Centaur Man's is okay. Wind's is bad. Flame is, I put mad, but it's kind of bad. Blizzard's okay. Plant Man has a boring barrier weapon. I don't know if I want to give it a 2 or a 3. Beat's not as good in this game. I used more in the Wily stages, though. I actually don't think I quite did that, come to think of it. I don't know. There's only one I think is truly great. Everything else is pretty mid. So let's give it a mid score. 3. Right in the middle. So 4, 5, that's 9, that's 12. Controls, this one gets a 20. We have 3 games out of 20. Out of 25. And nothing that has quite gone past that. Because one category or another, usually being plot, which is not explained the best, or weapons, which is like the main crux of any Mega Man game, it doesn't quite cut it. And they're all pretty close. This almost makes this seem boring in a sense. The biggest gap in scores is the first game, which I ranked relatively low. It's a 13 out of 25. So 1 is 13 out of 25. 2 is 20 out of 25. Mega Man 3, my NES favorite, is 18 out of 25. 4 is 20 out of 20. Mega Man 5 is 19 out of 25. And what? Wait, 20 out of 20. 20 out of 25. Whoops. And then 6 is 20 out of 25. I feel like maybe... so what if we did this? I wonder what it would look like if I took out controls in each category. Maybe because the weapons they quickly fell into static archetypes that they just reused for each game with slight variation. Yeah, for sure. That's definitely the case with like a bunch of them. Like I think we have like 4 or 5 barrier weapons. Like, do we really need that many? But I do wonder if we experiment a little bit, right? If we take out controls and we just minus that from each of the scores, right? And we make it out of 20 instead and do 4 categories of pop. So controls was only a whopping 2. So that brings Mega Man 1 to 11 out of 20. Let's minus the 5, and out of 20, 15 out of 20. Then, well, that doesn't really change much now, does it? I'm just minusing each by 5. The exception of the first game. That doesn't really change a whole lot. Doesn't really change anything. Oh, the games are solid. What can I really say? I don't know. Yeah, I ranked them so close together because for the most part they're all pretty neck and neck. It's a solid series. I mean, look, for a game that got a hexology to start, it's pretty solid through and through. Or that's one man's take anyway. But you know what? Let's just go straight to the tier list. Because for the sake of what we're doing here, this is all like good. We're done here. The gameplay section is over. So for the sake of these tier lists or whatever else we decide to do, that possibly also shows up on YouTube. We're good here. Gameplay is done. And I'm going to change these scores back to what they were before because I did so many changes that Control Z is not doing what I'd like anymore. Luckily, I remember the scores pretty much off the top of my head. So that's all that. We're gonna save it as is, and we're gonna do the stuff and things.